It's been a minute. First and foremost, how is everyone doing? Comment down below. I just snuck out of Adriel's nap, so I like ninja crawled out, and so I got to be kind of quiet. If you don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I post on Instagram the most, so you're probably like, where have you been? What's going on? Motherhood has been a journey. Beautiful chaos is the perfect way to describe it. Motherhood has given me purpose unlike anything I've ever felt before, and it quite literally forced me to come to a complete halt with everything that I was doing before having a child. Motherhood can also be the loudest kind of lonely because everything just changes when you have a child. I mean, even when I was pregnant, it's like my brain just flipped a switch and just changed. So I wanted to catch up with all of you today and just have a little chat, tell you what I've been up to until he wakes up anyways, if he wakes up. But just kind of talk and catch up. Firstly, I would love to hear what social media platforms you guys spend the most time on. I started on YouTube. YouTube will always have a special place in my heart. Then I kind of migrated mostly to Instagram, and I do post on TikTok as well. I'm trying to post more there, but I kind of feel like people are in like TikTok or Instagram camp. I do miss the old YouTube days. I miss the old makeup tutorials and hauls and beauty favorites and vlogs. I miss YouTube content, but YouTube content definitely takes the most time. A day in the life with me is motherhood, Elevate Beauty, my business, and my social media, which is mainly Instagram. So first and foremost comes Adriel. I love being home with him every day. I could not imagine leaving him anywhere. I just couldn't do it. So I've made a lot of sacrifices and continue to be able to stay home with him. It's not easy. I'm also still breastfeeding at 2 years postpartum, and that can be a full-time job, especially the first year. I feel like that's all I did. I've made sacrifices to my career, to my business, because I just could never leave him. Like I cannot do it. And I've realized in postpartum how terrible our maternity program is in the United States. Like it's non-existent. And I'm always praying for mothers who want to stay home who can't, because our system essentially makes it impossible for people to survive, for families to survive on one income. It's terrible. That's a whole nother conversation. My day consists mainly of Adriel and being with him. I try not to be on my phone a lot because I don't want him to remember me just being on my phone. You know, I know we're in a digital tech age, but I want to give him a 90s, early 2000s childhood, like a childhood that I had for the most part, as much as I can. I don't want him to just remember me being on my phone all the time, which is hard because I work for my phone mainly and computer, but I usually work now during his naps, and I'm usually next to him in bed working on my phone, or sometimes I'll sneak out like now, or after he goes to bed at night, or like if he's playing with Raphael and they're like outside and I get some undisturbed work time. I'm doing like computer editing, social media content, emails, Elevate, all this stuff. Motherhood changing my brain and priorities and shifting my focus. It's a constant mom guilt and battle of I feel bad for working and then I feel bad if I don't work. I don't want to miss a moment with Adriel, but I also have an audience and I don't want to not shepherd the platform that God has given me. But then I also have just found purpose in motherhood. Like motherhood is my complete identity and I love every moment of it. Even when I want to scream and cry and I'm tired and things are hard, I love motherhood and I would love to have more children. But I also love the community we've built on my platforms. I also love Elevate Beauty. I've been working on so many products the last 6 months or so that once they start rolling out, you guys are gonna be like, this is amazing. Like other categories, more things like Elevate Skincare. I kind of teased it on my Instagram. Cannot wait. So many things I'm so excited for. I also would be completely happy just being a mother. To be honest, I would be completely happy living an offline life with my baby and more babies and would be completely fulfilled. I know women say, oh, well, women are more than mothers. Of course we are, but we are the portal to life. We create life. How incredible is that? Only women can do it. And I believe the feminine energy that God gave us is meant for rest, creation, and nurturing. And I really feel like women's best work is at home with their children. That's the next generation. Like, I remember as a child just wanting to be with my mom. And my mom always worked 2+ jobs. And I just remember, like, especially during summertime when school was out, I'm like, I want to be with my mom. I wish my mom was here. So I want to break generational patterns. I want to break generational curses. I want to break all of the things that I wish my parents could have done for me. So, I intend on homeschooling and being home with Adriel always. We don't have a village, which can be really hard, but we do what we can. Raphael and I do the best that we can. My husband and I are always just juggling, switching off. But like I said earlier, I just don't want to miss a moment. When it comes to vlogging, I would love to vlog more, but I don't want to show my son on social media a lot. And as he gets older, I don't know that I will at all. I really don't show him as much as I did the first year on social media. I also don't want my son to think it's normal to have a camera in his face at all times. I know it's normal for many families and this digital age, but we don't know how that affects children. I couldn't imagine always being filmed when I'm doing things, whether it's with a phone or with a camera. I really value my privacy, which is ironic, right? I put my life online, but you get to choose what you put online. So with vlogging, I've thought a lot about it, and I haven't really found a balance of what I could vlog. Vlogs would obviously be mainly things with me, but my son is with me mostly all day at all times. So if you're a mother, you don't get a lot of quiet moments to yourself. They're very few and far in between. Always learning how to work-life balance and do all of that. I get swept up in motherhood and I love it. And then next thing you know, I could take days where I'm not posting even as many stories because it's just, your child needs you at all times. The phase I'm currently in is mama, 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 mama all day. And even having a newborn and a small baby the first year, I realized my once quiet home was no more. And that can also be difficult and a challenge for content creation, speaking to camera because you don't have a quiet place. So I'm just kind of chatting of what life is like right now. Most of my work consists of Elevate because having a beauty brand and expanding and creating new products takes a lot of time and attention. From concept to conception, products can take years. So it's a lot of work. I've had many times where I nurse Adriel to sleep at night and I'm next to him under the covers on my phone so the light doesn't disrupt him, and I'm doing emails or things, and then Raphael is asleep next to me, but it's things that I have to do. And sometimes I only get to do it at the end of the night. I've had times where I sneak out at night and then 10 minutes later he wakes up or stirs and I've got to go back and restart the process. So work definitely looks a lot different now, but I also know that I will miss this phase one day because it really goes by so fast. I can't believe it's already been 2 years. It's insane. Something I think about a lot is, what did I do with all my time before having a child? No idea. Could just go get coffee whenever, could go to the gym whenever. And you don't think about it that way until you then have a child. But then at the same time, I can't imagine life without him here. It feels like a whole different world. I feel with every phase so far of having a child is once you get the hang of things and you feel like you've got it down, your baby changes. And it's a slow but fast change. It's hard to explain. And I guess as a new mom, I don't really know what to expect. You're just kind of riding the waves of motherhood. But I remember thinking oh, at this age, you'll be more independent and do this, or at this age, you'll know how to do this. And then you get there and it's not what you expected because you've never done it before. And for me, the first year for sure was really hard in many ways. As much as I love it, it is hard. And a lot of moms are shunned for talking about the obstacles that come with motherhood and the challenges. But it's like, talking about those things doesn't make you love your child any less. I really appreciate when mothers are raw about motherhood and vulnerable. And so it took me about a year to feel like, okay, I can breathe. I also didn't really recognize my body for at least a year, and I still don't completely. I don't know that I'll completely feel like my old self, but you're not really your old self because you're changed after having a baby. You're not supposed to be your old self, but until I'm done breastfeeding, and I want to breastfeed as long as he wants to, as long as I can. So after a year, I started to feel a little bit more like myself. And then I would say now at 2 years, it takes about 2 years for your hormones to regulate after having a baby. I feel much more confident, much more like, okay, I got this, we can do more things. I literally wore Adriel in a baby wrap every day for at least 8 months, at least once a day. And I love baby wearing, I miss it. I can still do back carry sometimes, but he's big. And like his baby rolls have obviously thinned out. He's still holding on to his like baby toddler cheeks. But it's bittersweet that every season of motherhood goes by and doesn't last. It's like you're relieved, but then it's also like bittersweet and a heartbreak that, oh, this season is over. I remember in every hard moment in the first year, I would always tell myself, it goes by fast, it goes by fast, it goes by fast. Like, soak it up, enjoy it. And now I look back and I'm like, it wasn't that bad. It's like God's design where you want to do it all over again. I mean, I loved being pregnant, but it is beautiful and amazing, and motherhood is such a sacrificial love. I look at all of my friends that came before me that have children. I'm like, I had no idea. I had no idea. You just don't know until you go through it. It also tests and changes your marriage in many ways. It's a completely new dynamic. You no longer have all the time for yourself and for your husband that you had before. So that's been a journey on its own. I feel like for us, it took a good 8 months to a year to be like, okay, like we're kind of getting the hang of things. Teething was very hard for us, like very hard for Adriel. And hard nursing as well. Every time we got a new tooth, his latch changed and it was hard. And that's one reason why I'm so passionate about breastfeeding, because I've fought so hard to be able to do it and keep doing it. And it's definitely my biggest accomplishment in my life. And I've done a lot of great things, I like to think, in my career and things I wanted to accomplish. Breastfeeding tops them all, 1,000,000%. I never knew I was going to be a boy mom, but now I can't imagine it being any other way. Wish that every woman could experience the joys of motherhood, because it makes you feel empowered and feminine in a way that I can't explain. From like the growing a child to birth, and I had a traumatic birth. My birth story is on my channel. But nourishing your baby with your body, holding your baby to sleep is literally heaven on earth. And it's just incredible. And I'm sad that many young people in this generation are forsaking it because of what they've been told and what they've been sold, which is a lie. Because Satan hates women, hates the seed, made in the image of God. And it's funny because growing up, like I grew up in the like Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, Lindsay Lohan, like that kind of era. It was all about trophy wives. Women didn't want to work. And I'm like, why does every woman want to slave for a corporation now? Like, I don't. I love my business, don't get me wrong. But my dream is to stay at home and not have to work, and to let my husband just take care of everything, as they should, and enjoy your youth and doing all the things for yourself, and then having lots of babies and having a garden and land. I mean, that's literally the dream. I've also continued to change my life dramatically the last couple of years of low tox and holistic living, and what I eat, supplements, herbs, all of the natural things. And there's so much that I would love to share and hopefully I get to one day. And it's very much in opposition to the mainstream beauty industry, health, wellness in general. I share a lot on Instagram, but that has also changed my life and my perspective. And that, in addition to motherhood, has deepened my faith in so many ways that I can't even begin to explain. I would love to catch up with you guys in the comments, so maybe I can do a Q&A next or some little things next as I can. Give me grace, be patient with me if you're watching. I hope you enjoyed this little chit-chat update. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you guys in my next video or on Instagram or TikTok.